This might be the first time we're seeing an NBA owner crash out.
Oh, it's extremely fixable. I mean, let's just be real. Although this isn't a cool narrative and the national media really won't want to play it out there, that's not what we're going to have in Phoenix, and it makes me happy. And guess what? I'm going to own the team for 50 years, and probably 45, 46, 47 of those years, we'll probably have the same conversation like, hey, we didn't win the championship. And we're going to be disappointed then, too.
Suns fans, I hate to rain on your parade, but your franchise is being held hostage by a megalomaniac. He's gone crazy. He's lost the plot. This is a guy that a lot of people celebrated when he first bought the team, right? He traded for KD the day after, right? Some people even talk about his days playing at MSU. What? Michigan State, really? We're doing this shit? He was a walk-on point guard, apparently. They won the national title for the NCAA tournament when he was there in 2000. I don't give a damn because he didn't do much, probably. I don't care about this shit. This motherfucker. I don't know if I'm sounding too much like a hater, but there's a reason for it, and I'll get into it later in the video, okay? This guy is a delusional egomaniac. He is a fool.
So I'm actually happy where we're at from that perspective, that people are disappointed, because guess what? There's not someone in the organization that's more disappointed than me. My GM, my CEO, my players, my coach, everyone's disappointed, just like the fans. How going into the offseason, I feel great about it. It's not like there's a lot of other teams that have good players that have to re-sign them, or they're going to lose them, or that they're unrestricted free agents. Like, our starting five's coming back. I feel very good about it.
So Monsieur Ishbia here, he likes to talk about his team being a great team, his team being in a great position, and how, you know, these guys, these starting five, oh, they're coming back. They're coming back. So you're telling me Yusuf Nurkic is not getting traded? You're really telling me he's coming back to the fold after what we've seen in this playoffs? He's horrible. He's not a playoff basketball player, right? People are going to key in, teams are going to key in to how bad he is defensively. Not just that, he's just so weak when it comes to crashing the boards. He's one of the last players you want to have as a starting center, okay? Not just that, the big three is really a redundant big three, right? All these guys do basically the same shit, and there's only one ball that you guys can play with, right?
And like I said, if fans like to look in the future and say, hey, I really like that 2031 draft pick because maybe that seventh grader is going to be really good and we're going to draft him and one day he's going to be a player, like, you ain't going to like the Phoenix Suns, because we're going to say draft picks are to get great players. And we, by the way, narrative out there, and I know, Gerald, you got it right when I read what you wrote today. 5 of the next 8 years, we have a first-round draft pick. I know that's not like a cool thing to say out there because people like to, say their narratives, we have no draft picks, but we have 5 of the next 8 years, and we can trade 2 of them next month if we want.
I know some people might not like talking about numbers, but this is important. Okay, the second apron is something that the NBA recently introduced in their new CBA, meaning a team that is basically above the second apron, meaning they spend more money than really they should. So the first apron was already something that I think the NBA established years ago, right? And obviously, if you're above that, there are some specific taxes that you have to pay. Now, if you're above the second apron, more taxes, but not just that, but there's some penalties involved. So according to the new CBA, a second apron team won't be able to trade their first round pick 7 years into the future. So you know that pick, that 2031 pick that Ishbia wants to trade? Well, he won't be able to trade that 2032 pick once he realizes, oh, fuck, I'm paying too much money for this team. It says here, so if you're in the second apron by season end of 2024-2025, you will automatically have your 2032 first round pick frozen and unable to be dealt. Oh my, a frozen pick. Yeah, we're getting frozen picks, man. This is insanity, bro. There's penalties here that's going to restrict the amount of, the MLE signings. I don't think you can even have an MLE signing if you are above the second apron. I don't know if I'm wrong about that. I could be wrong, but there are more penalties that are involved with this, right? The tricky part here as well, this is a little fine print here. If a team that remains in the second apron for 2 of the following 4 seasons, its first round pick 7 years out won't just be frozen. It will automatically be moved to the end of the first round or the 30th pick. So basically, you have a late first round pick that's basically bottom. At that point, you can't even be a lottery team 7 years out because of something you did 7 years ago. Like, okay, imagine you are a tanking team. You're the Phoenix Suns. I expect them to be a rebuilding team by 2032, right? I don't know. Some people may not think so. I think so because, the shit that Matt Ishbia is pulling here. This team won't even be able to have a lottery pick the year that they are tanking because, well, what Matt Ishbia decided to do 7 years prior is basically biting them in the ass. Okay, paying too much money for a team whose ceiling really is a first round exit.
But ask the other 29 GMs. 26 of them would trade their whole team for our whole team and our draft picks and everything as is. The house is not on fire. We're in great position. It's not hard to fix. It's not like we're like, hey, we don't have enough talent to win a championship. We have enough talent to win a championship, right? Do we have enough continuity? Do we have time together? Like, there's a lot of things we can look at. Do we have like the right leadership in place? Do we have to add some little pieces around? It's not like
yeah, this is all fine, guys. All fine and dandy, guys. Everything that we're seeing here is all right. I know we got swept, but guys, we're in a great position to win championship, right? This is how stupid you sound, bro. This dude, Matt Ishbia, sounds a bit too much like a Tony Robbins, right? With his fake motivational shit, right? You could just see through the bullshit. You can see through the delusion, the illusion of grandeur, right? The hubris that he has. This guy, this is how he sells himself to the public, right? When you're this privileged in life, right? You often have this mask where, everything seems to be fine on the outside. Oh, everything's great, guys. And you have to sell to everybody else that everything is great in order to basically mask off the fact that you are suffering inside, right? That's basically the life of a Nepo baby, of a trust fund baby, which Matt Ishbia is. Okay, let's go into the Wikipedia page. I know. Wikipedia, #1 source of the internet. Let's go. So in 2013, he became the CEO of United Wholesale Mortgage, a mortgage lender founded by his father. So he basically got to inherit his father's company and thus was able to basically become rich right off the gates. Okay. That small loan of $1 million, that's basically what this is, guys. A trust fund baby that is now running a team a la James Dolan. We've seen this movie before.
How fixable is it? And I mean, if I read the media, I would think we have a lot of problems. But luckily, I get to spend time with the best players in the world, in my opinion, the best coaches, GMs, see like all these people, and I get to spend time with our people and say we're in really great shape, and I wouldn't trade our team or our situation for anyone else's. Except for I'd like to be playing right now, but besides that, for like...
This is as of April of 2024. Michigan-based United Wholesale Mortgage faces federal lawsuit over business tactics. So apparently they're being sued by a law firm, a specific hedge fund, I think. I don't know what, but some law firm is suing them, and they're accusing them of pressuring brokers to send their clients to UWM. They're basically getting them to sign non-compete clauses to where they can't go to any other lender. They can only go to UWM, which is a pretty shady tactic, might I add, okay? I am in no way an expert here, but that does sound shady. And if there are grounds for this lawsuit to go forth, well, oh boy, I wonder what the punishments will be here. And just like Robert Sarver's Phoenix Suns, well, there seems to be a report here that depicts UWM's culture as hostile. Oh no. Apparently, this is from a almost 2,500 word report. There's some managers that treated black workers differently from the white ones. That's not good. And they're saying that it doesn't allege any malfeasant actions by Ishbia himself, but basically talks about the culture of the work environment at that United Wholesale Mortgage. This is a dumb fuck that owns the Phoenix Suns, man. Y'all are doomed. Draft picks? He doesn't even want to develop young talent. It's ironic because he just funded a G League team for this franchise, which the franchise hadn't had one prior. So what's the point of not having draft picks to develop if you're gonna have a G League team to I don't understand what the hell he's doing, bro. So this guy's, the delusion is high. It's very strong here. And it's funny to see him crash out. It's quite hilarious, actually. And this is how I'm going to end the video, folks. A couple days ago, this is April 29th. I'm pretty sure this is like right after, if not like a day or two after they got swept. So there's an allegation being thrown around here by a Sun source that says Matt Ishbia has no idea what he's doing when it comes to basketball. It's like Looney Tunes around here. It's felt unstable since he arrived. He's a good guy and everything, I think, but he's just very involved, too involved. I know he played college basketball, whatnot, but I'd venture to say he has no idea what he's doing when it comes to basketball. Yet he's making a lot of big decisions. This dude might legit be worse than Robert Sarver. I can't believe I'm even saying this because Robert Sarver was a piece of shit. He quite frankly was one of, if not the worst owner after Donald Sterling got banished from the NBA. This guy, Robert Sarver, was horrific. He was terrible. And somehow the Suns managed to downgrade from a Sarver that was conservative to a Ishbia that is now way too proactive and making way too many rash decisions that are really franchise altering. At this point, the foundation that Phoenix had 2 years ago, right, is completely different. It is completely shattered. They had a great young nucleus of players. Now they just have a bunch of old middling veterans that are getting paid $50+ million. Right? This is actually terrible. An aging superstar in Kevin Durant, who they're probably gonna have to trade at some point because, well, who's gonna be the one that's the most expendable and the most valuable out of the free? It's gonna be Kevin Durant. Okay, Devin Booker might also be valuable, right? But he has that homegrown feel to it, right? He's a fan favorite. favorite. Why would they trade him? That will not sit well with Phoenix. But look, Kevin Durant, they're probably gonna have to trade him. Let's be honest. He's basically the easy one to trade here because Bradley Beal has a no trade clause. So you can't trade him unless he says so. And also, who wants a contract that is this bad from Bradley Beal, right? He's getting paid so much money to basically put up less than 10 points in a playoff game, elimination game that is, by the way. That he had 9 points. He had 6 turnovers and 6 fouls in that game. I cannot believe that guy's being paid the money he's being paid. It's actually horrific.
My mom had been the mother I wanted her to be.
Yeah.
I'd probably not be the man I'm proud to be.